Hi everyone, this is Fred from ModelTrainStuff.com. We're here today to show you how to build this fall scene with a Halloween twist. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the base color down. You've seen I've used the pink foam, and we've already put in some joint compound here. We're going to create a road that's going to lead into the house. I've also, we've already built the house, which we'll bring in later, and I have the outline here to kind of give me an idea where I need to put my glue. So anyway, all I'm going to do is, as always, I'm going to use the full strength Elmer's glue, and I'm just going to pour this out, and I'm going to use my basic standard Woodland Scenics earth. And then I'm also, right now, before we get too far along, I'm going to glue in I'm going to put a graveyard in here also. So I'm just going to take this brush and spread this out, the areas that I want to cover. And all I did with the joint compound is just use the paintbrush to brush it on. You can see the street marks, but that's going to look like ruts and stuff later on. So should add some nice detail to the scene. Now the mouse model, so I'm going to put this in now so we can scenic around it, makes a mausoleum and an iron fence set that looks very eerie. So we're going to use that to go around the house at some point in the cemetery. So what we're going to do is I've already put the mausoleum together, so we're going to bring that out, and I'm just going to go ahead and place that right here next to where the house is going to go. We'll glue that in. Okay, what we're going to do is just take the earth like we talked about before and some of my other videos, and we're just going to spread that around, cover the areas. This is just a base color. You could use any other manufacturers. Right now I'm using the Woodland Scenics again. JTT makes a really nice product of this. Just going to spread it around the edges. We want the foundation to kind of disappear into the dirt. So we can even color cover up the driveway a little bit. That'll be gravel at some point. There's a product made by a company called JTT that's really neat. It's got tufts of foliage sticking up, high grass and things like that, and it's kind of ratty looking. I figured that's going to be really good for a cemetery. So what I've done is I've already pre-cut this for around the mausoleum. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to hot glue this down. I'm going to just put a bunch of hot glue on here. Got to work fairly quickly because with the medium temperature it tends to set up rather quickly. So we're just going to grab this, and the advantage of using low temp glue is that you don't burn the heck out of your fingers. So, but as you can see, I can glue that down and we can blend that in as things go on. So, and now I think we can glue some tombstones in here. Same thing, we'll just use some hot glue. And so these tombstones are from Woodland Scenics. So what I'm going to do is, because we're on a hillside here, I'm just going to cut away a little bit of that material we just put down, and I'm just going to kind of make them almost level. Doesn't matter because we want it to look like an unkept graveyard. So we just add gravestones around, grave markers. I really like the way that last one I put in, it's kind of sitting way down in the ground. So I think I can go ahead and put another one like right here. Just going to cut a groove. Roughly the size of what I want. And place that down in there like that. So probably should have some of them leaning over too. We're also going to add a pumpkin patch in here. As soon as I get this last one in. Okay, we're planning on putting the pumpkin patch right in this area here, across from the little house. And JTT makes a product that actually has separate pumpkins and the vines for it. So all we need to do here just going to place these up here for a second. I'm going to hot glue those in also. Okay, well, these pumpkins have a little tip on the end to represent, I guess, the stem. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to put a little bit of glue on the end of them. And not to be too uniform with them. Going all over the place. So, got the pumpkin patch in. Looks pretty cool. So what we're going to do now is start to get into our fall theme. So we're going to use, this is JTT fall foliage colors. It's kind of a neat color. They have a couple different colors. The texture's real nice. Probably even add some of that over here in the pumpkin patch. Just sprinkle just a little bit on here and there. So it's one color we can put down. There's also red, orangey red. So we're just going to come back, sprinkle that on, just to add some different color. Starting a little fallsy here. JTT makes this other really neat foliage material. Comes in a couple different colors, and what you can do, it's kind of stringy, and you can stretch it out, and it looks like vines and things like that. You can make it look like a bush, vines and that sort of thing. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this material and we're just going to drape it along the edge of the cemetery here, just to kind of give us an edge. You see it adds a little bit of 3D effect to the side, covering the hill over here. So you can see we're hiding the edge of the brown that I put over there for the cemetery. You can see that's kind of really blending together nicely. And then maybe along the slope over here. So, and I'm going to come back with the same thing. With I'm just going to use this Woodland Scenic spray. Once it dries, that'll look really nice. All right, so like I said, I'm going to show you how to kind of blend this edge of this road in. We're going to use a burnt umber, and I'm just going to coat this area here. Even if it gets on the road, it's not gonna make any difference, because we're gonna need to cover that anyway. So we'll blend that all in. So we're just gonna use this to, and you can kind of see how that's all blending in now. Doesn't look so bad. And actually the this burnt sienna color will dry a little bit lighter than it is. Now that we've got that done, actually the plasters or the joint compound's dried enough that I can come back with this gravel color, this gravel that we actually use. It's from a company called Highball, and we're just going to sprinkle that on here to give us the road surface. Same thing, I always use just a small opening in the bag. We'll make a little bigger thing here, like a turnaround spot. Come down along here. Here we have our gravel road. Come back and just spray that one more time just to make sure it sets in there. We can put some ruts in there too. Okay, now that we have kind of the basic part of the roadway in and the pumpkin patch and the cemetery, we're going to come back and add the building. So we've already, as I said earlier, had put this in, had built this already. It's called the Monsters from Mobius Models. Like I said, it's a very nice kit to put together. Here it is assembled and weathered. you can see it. It's very nicely done by Mobius Models. So what we're going to do is just feed these two wires down through the hole that I've drilled through the foam. We'll get that later, but what we're going to do is just go ahead and place the building in its location. So you can see that's going to really enhances the scene. So we're going to add some more detail and stuff around it. Here's a dead tree that's by Woodland Scenics. We're going to go ahead and add a dead tree to the scene. And then there's a couple other manufacturers who make trees that are really nice. And what we're going to do is just add these trees in various locations. In this case, I might want to glue this one down, but I think we're going to, well, that one's actually sticking pretty well, so I'm going to leave that there. And you can see trees really add a lot of depth to a scene. It's amazing how much better a scene will look with trees in it. We'll put one here in the corner, just randomly pick spots for them. They generally will push into the foam, don't necessarily stick, so that one didn't want to stay. But we can glue, I'll glue this in with hot glue in a few minutes. So one in the foreground here. And then also a company called JTT also makes fall trees, but they're nice foreground trees too. So we'll come back and push that over here. Once again, didn't want to stick, but we can hide those areas. And then we'll add one in here. So from here, we might have to make some adjustments to the trees. We're going to do a few more things, and then I'll be back in just a few minutes to show you how to install the fence. Okay, so I've added some a little bit of, since we hadn't detailed the front here, I've added some glue, and we're going to go back and just touch up some areas. And then also because we have that dead tree, I want to kind of show that the leaves are all sitting around the bottom of the dead tree. So I'm just going to sprinkle some of this stuff all the way around the tree. Okay, so once again, I'm just going to spread a little light coating of dirt along the front here, just to give us a little ground underneath the vegetation which we're going to put here. So just lightly do that. We also have another material from Woodland Scenics called Foliage. Early fall. This is a really neat material. They also have a late fall. We're going to use that kind of more of a reddish orange color. So we're just going to open this package. The neat thing about this is that it's very similar to the JTT, as you can stretch it out. It's just different colors. Stretch this out like this, and the neat thing about it is that you can just drape it on your layout, and it looks like vines climbing down the hill. Alright, so what I'm going to do also around the graveyard is I'm going to put some leaves and stuff growing up around the headstones. What I'm also going to do is we can see the edge of the building here. So what I'm going to do is come back with, this is a little heavier, coarser material. And I'm just going to, now I might tone this down a little bit with some green or some brown. We'll see how it goes. But I'm just going to add like bushes in front of the house. Creeping out along the edge of the driveway here a little bit. Here's the same Woodland Scenics coarse turf, it's called. Comes in a smaller package too. Just going to add a touch. The yellow is awful bright, so I don't think I'm going to add too much of that. What I'm going to do is just get that down. And what I'm going to do is just lightly spray this area with the Woodland Scenics. Get them real nice and tight. Lightly spray this down. And I think we're going to go ahead and, right now, we need to weather the mausoleum, and give me a second here, and I'll get the chalks out, or the pan pastels, and I'll show you how we do that. Okay, so here's the pan pastels that I'm going to use. It's a really neat material, but I'm just going to use this medium gray, and I'm just going to streak this mausoleum with this material, and you'll see how it's going to instantly turn old, like it's been here forever. So, and all the pan pastels will just settle on all the areas that you would expect dirt to settle. Okay, so this is a fence material that we're using from Mouse Models. We're going to just take a little bit of hot glue and touch down on the corners here, just on the ends of the post. And now we're just going to place this at the top of the driveway, kind of push it in a little bit if we can, give us a little bit more support. I've weathered that down so it looks a little rusty. I'm just going to go ahead and take these fence pieces, hot glue, but we're just going to place that in close to that last piece on the top of the slope here. I think at some point I'll come back with glue and glue these two corner posts together here to hold it in place. So we've got the fence installed now, little rickety in places, which kind of makes sense. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and add the trees back in, and we're going to finish this thing off by putting a few figures in it and a vehicle. So we have the Grim Reaper from Prizer. Here he is. So what we're going to use is clear silicone caulk and place him right here at the end of the cemetery. That stuff will dry really nicely. We have the Vampiress from Prizer once again, and I'm going to place her up on the balcony, and we're just going to place her right there. And we thought we'd be a little whimsical here and add a clown. He's kind of creepy looking anyway, so maybe we'll have him coming off the porch. So same thing, I'll have to use a little bit of glue, the needle nose pliers, a little bit of clear silicone caulk. The advantage of clear silicone caulk is it won't leave any residue, and it actually hides. Once it dries clear, you don't see it. So, and then what the final kind of touch we're going to have is there's a vehicle, Rico Models, looks like a Mercedes of some sort, and put that in place. So it's like the Grim Reaper's waiting for you. You're driven up in a vehicle and the Grim Reaper's waiting for you to arrive. So, well, there you have it. Quick and easy way of doing the fall scene with a Halloween type of theme to it. So I hope it's been of some use to you, and you know, good luck in your modeling and have fun.